short months, we've now achieved peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda.
It's a beautiful thing to watch. Serbia, Kosovo, likewise, they've been fighting for years. We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
After relentless claims of having single-handedly forged ceasefires from India-Pakistan to Israel-Iran, the US president recently let loose a classic Trump meltdown.
We stopped 5 nations from going to war, and somebody else will get the Nobel Peace Prize for their writing about Donald Trump. A professor at some school that you've never heard of has received the Nobel Prize for his writing about Donald Trump and what Donald Trump did.
In true theatrical style, he quipped the Nobel could go to some professor writing about him rather than it coming to him. Cue the drum roll, because that might just be Trump. Well, don't hold your breath. Donald Trump has actually received a Nobel nomination, and that's a start. But how did that happen? Let's break it down. On July 7th, at a private White House dinner, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu formally nominated Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. He presented a letter to the Nobel Committee citing Trump's leadership on the Abraham Accords, ceasefires, and region-wide stability.
He's forging peace as we speak, in one country, in one region after the other. So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well-deserved, and you should get it.
Trump appeared visibly moved, calling the gesture very meaningful.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much, baby.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
The nomination follows Pakistan's earlier bid to nominate Trump for his role in the India-Pakistan truce and adds weight to Trump's long-sought Nobel ambitions. Netanyahu's visit coincided with US-backed indirect talks in Doha between Israel and Hamas, aimed at a 60-day ceasefire and hostage exchange. But negotiations remain fragile. Israel insists on restrictions around humanitarian aid. Gaza blockade issues persist, and despite internal Israeli opposition, public wariness may tip the balance. But Trump, ever the showman, used the moment to push for a ceasefire, publicly stating Hamas was finally ready to talk. Meanwhile, Zoran Mamdani, the progressive Democrat running for mayor who vowed to arrest Netanyahu if he visits, citing an ICC warrant over Gaza, also featured in Between the Camaraderie.
But for the Prime Minister, the likely next mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist and a vocal critic of Israel and of yourself, and has said he would arrest you if you came to New York City if he was mayor. Is that something you take seriously, or are you concerned about that? Do you have a response to that?
No, I'm not concerned about that.
I'll get him out.
Look, there's enough craziness in the world, but I guess it never ends. I mean, you have this is folly, and it's it's silly in many ways because it's just not serious.
This is a communist. He's not a socialist. He's a communist. And he said some really bad things about Jewish people, and he said some really bad things about a lot of people. And I think he's going through a little bit of a honeymoon right now, but he might make it. But, you know, it all comes through the White House. He needs the money through the White House. He needs a lot. He's going to behave. He'll behave. He better behave. Otherwise, he's going to have big problems. But it's a philosophy that this country is not ready for, and it never will be.
But in the backdrop of this Nobel nomination were protests in Washington and Tel Aviv, branding Netanyahu a war criminal. In sum, Trump rants about ceasefires, slams negotiators, braces for an arrest threat over Netanyahu, and by the end of the night, he gets a Nobel nomination from Israel's Prime Minister. It's a whirlwind. sleeves rolled up display of modern power politics. But the question now is, will Nobel Committee take bait from a private dinner?